A lot of businesses and companies are kind of moving away from having these video backgrounds on their headers. And though it may be a passing trend, I still do think that video backgrounds can be very helpful when done correctly, when put in the right context. It's really helpful to have a video background. It can really enhance the user experience of your website. And in this video, we're going to talk about video backgrounds and how they can help your website's user experience, and then also give some tips to make sure that we apply them correctly. What's up, guys? My name is Abrot, and I'm the founder and creative director at Abrot Creative. But on YouTube and on Instagram, I like to teach about web design and how you can start a business doing web design. If that's something that interests you, consider subscribing. Now, first of all, before we dive into some tips on how we can use video backgrounds on your websites, we're talking specifically on the header of your websites. It's sometimes very effective to put video backgrounds for your kind of in the back of your headline instead of maybe just a usual slider or a usual image. Video backgrounds can sometimes communicate a message and put forth an emotion that an image, a single image or a slider can't really do. And some of the things with me, I personally don't like sliders. I think that they are a waste of space and they're not really going to be effective in and also especially communicating to the user. So I want to show a website real quick here, and it's just a church website. I kind of just looked up a church website because sadly church websites are notorious for having sliders on their websites. I don't know why. They love it for some reason. I want you to notice this. If we go ahead and pull up this website, and as you can see, it loads up. We see the first thing. Now, we won't even have as much time to read it because it already switched to the next slide. And if you're like me, you're probably going to be impatient. You're only going to stick around on this part of the website for maybe a couple of seconds, and then you go ahead and scroll down. But because you've done that, well, they've already missed, the section. Oh, where did the slider go? Sometimes that's the thing too. They get messed up, right? If you go ahead and scroll down, then you miss the information about the connect groups. You miss the information about giving. You missed, and if you're a church, that's really important, right? If you missed the information about I guess this is a sermon or Spanish. You miss all the information if you use a slider instead of just having have it all around your website. Maybe if you scroll down, fix the storytelling of your website so that you have all these things in there without breaking the flow of your website. So I personally don't think sliders are an effective use, and I think they are actually damaging and hurting the user experience instead of helping it. And then images. Now, images are great. Images are nice to have on your website, especially at the header to have a background image or something like that. But a lot of times, especially when you're not a great photographer or you don't have the means to find a great photographer, it's hard to find the perfect image. I mean, you have a choice of just one image that you want to show, and it's hard to show that perfect image. Well, if you have a video, then you know what, you can do it easily, because though you may not, well, I'm not a videographer, as long as you have like an iPhone, you could put that iPhone, make a montage of clips, and be able to put a background that pleases the user and kind of puts an emotion that really attracts people. So what type of videos should we put on our websites? Well, we want to make sure there are videos that attract people, because that's what your website's for, right? You want to attract users into your business, your church, your cause, whatever they may be. A good avenue would be like a montage of clips. Let me show you some things that we're working on. Right now, we're working on someone who's actually a politician. They're running for I think they're getting ready for office. I'm not sure, but he has a TV show and he's a politician. And then so we opted, instead of showing just an image, we wanted to make a montage of video clips that we've actually saw online, and we surprised them with this, and man, the client loved it because it shows really a lot of the aspects that we're trying to put forth, that he's a servant, as you can see right there. He's a patriot. He's a former Navy SEAL. And also he's a friend of the people, as what we're trying to do. We're trying to put the message we're trying to put out for politicians. And I thought the best way to do that would be to put a video background. In this avenue of a church, Hillsong Church, very famous church. As you can see, you can kind of, if you're, especially churches, by the way, if you're a church and you're creating a website, I tell you this, video backgrounds are so useful for church websites. As you can see, you can kind of get a vibe. If you're into this type of a church, you'd want to go to this. You can see this, that they're for the city, they're for the people, they're for worship. And if this is the type of church you're looking for, well, there you go, you just found it. And then you're able to see that with the website. I think that this is more powerful than one single image can put out. You see happy people, smiling people, and all those things. And by the way, that's probably a big thing. If you're, say, a restaurant or a business or even a digital agency, a church, it's probably good to show montages of people, people here and there. You want to make sure that's related, right? Don't just, let's say you're a church and then the video is like an ocean or a river. I don't care if your name is Oceanside or whatever. We don't need to see the ocean, right? We want to see your church. If it's a restaurant, let's say you're an Italian restaurant, we don't need to see Italy, right? We can go ahead and look up videos of Italy. We need to see the food, the experience, the vibes that we get if we go to the restaurant. So a video can be very instrumental in doing that sort of thing. Now that we talked about videos, what type of videos you want to put, let's just give a couple of tips in order to make sure that we do it correctly. Number one, this is super, super key.
Major key.
Super important. If you don't do this, then you are seriously damaging the user experience of your website. Make sure that the text is legible. A lot of people that put video backgrounds, they don't make any edits or put any filters or overlays on the video, so then the text is hard to see. Even at this point in this video that we're looking at, there are some points where the text is hard to see. Now, it's very rare. Most of it is easy to see. Now you can see some of the clips, they put a black and white overlay or a grayscale overlay. Also, they put sort of a brownish, tannish overlay, grayish overlay, so that we're able to see the text. Same thing with the website that we showed here. We opted to put a bluish overlay, kind of a bluish grayish overlay on this, so that the text is clearly legible. If you have a video background and then we can't read the text, then it's a waste, right? We want to see the content. So a dark overlay can work, or a color overlay can work. Another tip that you want to make sure when you're doing video backgrounds is make sure that you have the right balance between quality and speed. Some people just want quality. They want the highest definition video. But what's going to happen is it might slow down your website. It'll damage your SEO. People won't even be able to see your website. Or if people go to your website, they can't stand it because it takes forever to load. So you want to find that right balance, right? Of clear video, but also good, clear quality, but then also a good speed. So as you can see here, the video is not the clearest video in the world, because if we were, the file size would be so huge, it'll damage the SEO, and also people will not want to go to your website because it takes forever to load, especially like on a mobile phone. This website right here, in a matter of days or weeks, it was a brand new domain. It became, one of the SEO really bumped up, and it's like one of the first websites to pop up when you search for this person, and that wouldn't have happened if the video was slow. Same thing with here. As you can see, it's a bit pixelated, and that's fine, right? You want to make sure that you have the right balance of quality and speed. And then another thing, lastly, you want to try to stand out a bit. Think differently. Think outside the box. I want to show you one last website that I thought was awesome. They did a video, but it's not just the usual montage of clips, not just the usual mashup of clips. This is for a student living. And let me refresh this so that you can see it. This video right here. Now, this video looks like they have a very powerful like server or some, decompression thing, because the video is pretty clear. But instead of a montage of clips, they're showing students having fun, enjoying, having a great life, because that's kind of what the message they're trying to put out, the brand that they're trying to relay, that, this is not just for students to live, but for students to live life, right? We're not just here to live, but to live life. I guess you get what I'm saying. So as you can see, they did this. Now, not every business has the avenue to do this or the budget to do this, but this website did a great job. As you can see, we want to watch it. We want to see it all the way until the very end, right? And then once you watch it till the very end, you're like, might as well scroll down. What in the world is this thing about? What is this website about? So you want to check it out. And then there's their logo. And it kind of rotates. So it's really cool that it goes back to it. And you scroll down and you see their websites. I hope that video was a help to you, and I hope you learned something from it. If you did, could you do me a favor? Could you click that like button? But most importantly, click the subscribe button. We come out with videos at least twice a week. Wednesday, we talk about WEBFLOW. Fridays, we talk about web design tips, web design business tips. So if you're a web designer, you're trying to be a web designer, or you're trying to start a web design business, then we're coming out with content just for you. So consider subscribing. Until next time, guys, I hope you always remember to always keep learning. Peace. Chloe's cold.